need to
You
put
could
your
have told
camera
me
on.
that 10 minutes
No, wait,
ago, so I
Ryan,
didn't say anything.
Ryan, turn off your camera.
Okay.
You see, like, oh, never mind. Go back. Never mind. I'm
Yeah, it
tripping.
doesn't show up unless it's.
By the way, that's not
We're-
just something hanging. That's a thing to turn the light off and on.
I know. I have one too.
And
I don't know why I'm pointing like you guys can see it, but
that right there, that's to change like the air conditioning inside if we had it, but we don't.
Ryan, I live in a trailer too, bud. Okay.
Okay, bro.
I want to see Valente's house now.
Okay.
I'll show you it.
I'm ready whenever y'all are. I think I hit record. Let me make sure. Yes, I did. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here, and we are here with ASWELL for Subs, one of my longtime YouTube friends. You've seen him in hundreds of videos on me and his channel all together. And
Yeah.
we've got a guy that I think's been in some videos before, I'm not sure. But we've got Mr. Alex Watts right over there. He's got the little dog doing this. So, and we
Not
are
what
going.
you're doing at all.
And anyway, we are going to go into a bunch of different sports takes because this is the bye-week podcast. A name credited.
You want to tell a little bit about ourselves first, because there could be very new people that don't watch our channels. Like,
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm gonna let the most famous of all of us go, Mr. ASWELL for Subs. Go ahead.
okay, bro. Okay. I sell for subs. I got 1,000 subs on YouTube. I post Saints content, and if it wasn't obvious enough, I'm a Saints fan. Yeah.
All right, go,
The
Mr.
Pacers
A.
mascot doesn't help.
Shut up.
Go A Watt.
My name's Alex. Don't really do YouTube. I play basketball at the moment. Nothing really going on right now. Still looking for a home for school. So at the moment, nothing really going on. Just here to give my take on the bye-week podcast. I have a good time with the homies.
All right, so basically, the reason Alex is here is because I don't know nothing about basketball, but Valente does, and we needed somebody to chit chat back and forth. So that's your guy right there, right there, right there. So
He's all right for me, but since you're recording this,
I'm in the middle for me.
we'll go with what you said.
anyway, so we have a bunch of different sport takes. I'm gonna cover the potential AEW versus WWE pay-per-view. Valente is going to cover and be the host of the NFL Nfc North Predictions and the Melvin Gordon this or that. And then Alex is going to dive into, who is it again, Alex?
The Summer League.
Yeah.
Just want to talk about a couple guys on the Summer League that have been impressive.
Okay. So, how do y'all want to decide who goes first?
I think since you're the host,
you take the reins. Take the reins.
Okay.
On Roman Reigns.
So, my reigns go as follows.
Before we get into that, I just wanna let everyone know that we all know about these sports in particular. We just agree that someone knows a little bit more than the other.
Yeah.
So this is considered like a hot take type thing. We all know a decent bit about these sports. So if we don't agree with this, we're gonna call you out on your bullshit.
Okay. So I took the time to make this custom AEW versus WWE card. ASWELL for Subs was in there when I was making it. Mr. Alex Watts knows nothing about what's on this card, and being that our wrestling takes typically disagree, he's normally my wrestling takes guy. Valente was originally, but he's kind of slowly weaned out from watching it seriously. So,
yeah.
He knows a majority of the people that are on this card just from like me talking. But we're going to dive into it. So, as typically every pay-per-view does, including WWE and AEW, I have an idea that these are not going to be separate events held by WWE or AEW. It's going to be more similar to what New Japan and AEW did, where there's one show. So, like, what I'm basically saying is, instead of like them hosting individual events where they're facing each other.
Ryan, I think you need to start over. Your shit been laggy, like no cap.
Do I need to start
If
over?
you can hear me. Yeah, your shit just like glitched out for me. I didn't hear anything you said.
Okay, I'll start over. What was the last thing y'all heard?
You said
WWE pay-per-view.
everything. Yeah.
What was it, V?
Something about AEW and WWE pay-per-views.
Okay,
And then
so
after that, you started lagging.
so AEW and WWE pay-per-views, much like AEW and New Japan did, I believe AEW and WWE should hold this as one event. So not have different, like, not have Peacock and a pay-per-view stream this, because nobody's going to want to buy it for $5 and then go buy it to represent AEW for $60. I don't feel like people would want to do that. So I feel like AEW should agree to put this fully on Peacock, be on WWE streaming service, and then them half the revenue or whichever way that works. But I feel like that's a way to make it where people wouldn't
You
feel
don't think
like
they could just do something like on Bleacher Report where you can just you don't.
Yeah, but then that'd be too exclusive to AEW. You don't want it to be. You don't want it to be
But
like
then it's too
completely
exclusive to
exclusive to
WWE,
one.
so just goes on Peacock.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is
It'd be
if it goes on Bleacher Report or Fight TV, then it's going to be more than the $5 you'd have to pay for Peacock. So I'm trying to make this more of like an equal thing, price wise for fans.
You could just put out all TV providers like they used to do it. Like they're before WWE Network existed, or
I feel
Peacock,
like
they put it
I,
on TV
I
providers.
feel like that they would I feel like that wouldn't be an issue, and I feel like WWE would be down to do that. I just feel like Peacock would get kind of mad because this would be a massive event for WWE, at least like ratings wise.
For sure.
And I feel like Peacock would get pissed that wouldn't be on the service.
I think that they could do it both ways around, but in a sense, like AEW would kind of have to be like the B side for that to work.
Well,
because you got to realize with them being as big like as a company as they are, there's you really can't like call for an A side. Like how New Japan and AEW did it. AEW was the A side. That was clear. But WWE and AEW, they're both major companies. They both have to like take a major. I would almost have to say
That's
like
probably one of the reasons why this one worked.
like sharing is caring.
Because the ego's involved. I don't feel like that's one of the reasons why I feel like this wouldn't happen. But we're talking this hypothetically. But
yeah.
What makes
let's stop with all that. Go into the card.
What makes I'm gonna answer that real quick. What makes me think it could happen is the multiple, like, Jericho was on Austin's podcast. That really started it. Then Mickie James was in the Rumble. She was from Impact, who has a working relationship with AEW. And then for TNA's for TNA's 20th anniversary show, AJ Styles was there, which WWE had to approve. And if I'm not wrong, for Randy Orton's 20th anniversary, they had a bunch of AEW guys. They had
John Cena's.
John Cena's. Yeah, John Cena's. They had a bunch of AEW guys. So I feel like the working relationship is starting to be there. So that's why I feel like it's more possible now, especially now that Tony said that he is down to at least talking about it and seeing if they could work something out.
Do you think it's because of McMahon fading out of the picture? Do you think it's because of McMahon fading out of the picture why it's going to more likely to happen? Or do you...
I
don't think Tony Khan's the reason that this event is being held back.
No, I feel like...
Because you got to think, Tony Khan was a fan before anything else.
I just think that it's not impossible to say that this could happen. I think it would take a lot of years of development, and like it would be a lot of negotiating talks. So I don't think it's coming in the next 3 months, but I think it'd be a lot of negotiating talks and stuff. And I feel like there would be a lot of build to this too. At New Japan, Forbidden Door just had 3 weeks of build. I could see that if they're going to do an event like this, it's going to be massive. I could see this being a major arena show, 70, 80,000 seats. I don't see that as impossible.
Where would it be? That's a good question.
If you're wanting to go realistically, where I think would be a perfect place to put it symbolically, not arena size, but symbolically, I think Madison Square Garden would be perfect. If you want to go symbolically, Madison Square Garden would be awesome. Now, if you want to go and put it in a massive arena, I think if you want to do this on neutral ground, AEW and WWE are both the best two countries in America.
So
Would y'all agree
you
with
also
that?
gotta think about this. They both have like major stake in Florida. Like, because AEW,
It
you know,
could be
like Jacksonville, Jaguars, Tony Khan, and then the Thunderdome,
Tampa.
and then what's
Well,
it?
Tampa
Tampa or Miami.
Tampa would be like a midfield because Orlando's at the bottom of Florida.
It's
Yeah, because
Orlando.
Tampa has the I think the Performance Center and then the Thunderdome.
Yeah, so Tampa would be perfect.
So you could potentially meet in the middle in like Miami and put it in a big stadium, like Hard Rock Stadium or something like that.
Yeah. I think they'd have to. It would take a lot of negotiating. I don't think an arena would hesitate to snatch up to be like to promote this show, to like have this show in their stadium. They'd die for an event like this because like you're talking about, arguably you're talking about something that could draw more people than a WrestleMania could.
Super Bowl, WrestleMania, it could probably draw more than anything ever.
No, because WWE's never done nothing like this
I
before.
don't think it would though.
I don't think it's impossible to say it would draw 70,000 people.
Yeah,
Do
there's
you
no
think
way.
it would be more than the Super Bowl? Do you
No,
think they would draw more than the Super Bowl?
I think it could draw more than a WrestleMania. I think Super Bowl might be pushing it.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
now
that's
I'm
what
thinking about it.
Winter said Super Bowl, right? Because
Yes.
someone said Super Bowl, I was like, what?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about
said
like
it?
Super Bowl stadium capacity. I'm thinking
Oh, I
like
thought you were talking about like Super
stadium
Bowl, like
capacity is
TV.
like 80,000, 90,000.
This would be the biggest
But
pay per
they
view buy.
pack in 120.
This would be the biggest pay per view buy pay per view of all time. I think so.
For
probably.
wrestling or overall?
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Okay, I was gonna say. We'll go there.
What's the highest? Oh, we're speaking about that. Does anyone know? Like,
Let
off the top
me
of their
let
head?
me let me Google that right quick. I'm imagining it's something during the Attitude Era.
No.
The biggest wrestling pay per view buys.
No, there's no way it's Attitude Era, bro. I get it. Attitude Era is the most popular era ever. But what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of people say that Attitude Era is popular because they don't do what they do now, and a lot of people who go back and watch that realize that now.
WrestleMania 23 had 1.2 million buys. That's the biggest one ever.
Was that 2007?
WrestleMania 23. It was the
2007.
one. Yeah, I think so. It was the one with Trump, the billionaire Donald Trump, won. The next one close to that is WrestleMania 17.
Okay, so basically, the criteria is selling out more than WrestleMania, right?
Wait, hold up.
If you're saying,
wait, no.
if you're
WrestleMania
saying
23 isn't. WrestleMania 18 is the biggest one.
Who was in that?
WrestleMania 18 was the
That's
last WrestleMania of the Attitude Era. That was the event it ended at. That's where Austin turned heel.
Okay, wow. 2002. I mean, you proved me wrong on that one, but so basically the criteria is selling more than WrestleMania at this point. So yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which I think is entirely possible to do. Especially with this
100%.
card. With the card I made, I think it's possible to do.
What a beautiful segue. Go ahead.
Okay. So the card, typically every wrestling pay-per-view, whether it be WWE or AEW, has a pre-show / buy-in. So I have one. I have...
Hold on. Before you go, I paid attention to the opening match. That's the only one I ever paid attention to. I said the buy-in one is the only one I actually know about.
So the buy-in is a battle royal, with the winner getting a mid-card title shot of their choosing at their company's next event. So their next major pay-per-view. The people in this battle royal are Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, Otis, Chad Gable, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. That's representing WWE. That's 10. AEW's is Anthony Bowens and Max Caster of The Acclaim. That is Fuego del Sol, Matt Sydal, Dante Martin, QT Marshall, Danhausen, Shawn Spears, Ricky Starks, and Trent Beretta. With Dolph Ziggler winning the Battle Royal.
Oh.
And him, hold up, I'm not done. Him cashing in his mid-card opportunity and switching brands.
Ooh.
He's cashing in his
plot twist.
opportunity for the winner of Pac and Ricochet in the start of the show for the All-American Championship. The All-Atlantic Championship.
Oh, that's a W.
With the
That's a
card
W.
starting, we have Pac versus Ricochet for the All-Atlantic Championship. With the Bastard, Pac, getting the W, and we get a match that we never saw in WWE that I think would absolutely be a banger, and that is Pac and Ricochet. I mean, Pac and Dolph Ziggler.
Okay. I can
All right.
work with that.
All right, going on. You start the show high altitude, high pace with Pac and Ricochet. Then you go into a triple threat tag match. Winner take all. Swerve and Our Glory, who are the AEW Tag Team Champions. FTR, who are the Ring of Honor, IWGB, and AAA World Champions. World Tag Champions. And the Usos, who are the WWE Undisputed Champions. You have those three teams face.
I already know where this is going.
Crowning a new champion.
New undisputed champion of the entire world, actually.
All the former tag team championships are now retired. You have one set of tag titles called the Wrestling World Tag Team Championships. And they are won by the best tag team on the planet, FTR.
Too old.
Huh?
Too old.
What do you mean too old?
I don't think they win it.
You mean
I think it's not the Usos either. I think it might be Swerve and Our Glory.
If we're going to unify every tag team championship in every major promotion, it's got to be somebody that every promotion would be okay with having as their tag champions. And I feel like...
Now that makes sense. FTR would make sense because FTR has been tag team champion in WWE before, so...
So, I'm trying to keep
like
some
that would make
realism
sense.
here, but also... This next match, not every match has to be for the championships either. I'm going to put that out there. This next match is not for the championships, but is the TNT Championship versus the Intercontinental Championship. With Walter versus Wardlow. With Wardlow picking up the victory after a symphony powerbombs.
Okay. This is weird. I think this is the one match that can honestly go either way without you actually coming to like a closed decision on it.
I think that a time limit draw actually fits this match a lot.
Yeah, but the way that these two companies build them is that they're completely dominant. They're not ever gonna be taken down. Like, look at Wardlow. Wardlow just took down 21 fucking plaintiffs. Or 21 fucking prosecutors or whatever.
I don't think it's impossible that this match will go to decision. I'm just saying, if there is going to be a winner, I feel like WWE is okay with having their IC champion lose. I feel like AEW would push hard for Wardlow to win this match.
There's only one reason why WWE would be okay with their Intercontinental Champion losing. They haven't defended it on a pay-per-view in 2 years.
Okay, so I'm getting more.
Do you think some shenanigans would happen in this match?
No, but
Wardlow to win?
No, but I'm getting to some matches where I feel like there could be some shenanigans.
Why not this match though? You're trying to, I'm just thinking, if you're trying to protect and you want a winner, I feel like there has to be shenanigans in this match.
No, because you got both. If there's gonna be shenanigans, then Walter's gonna win this match. Because
then I'm fine with that. Because then they both still look strong and there's a winner.
Because what I debated having this happen.
Or you can plant the seeds of Walter being like doing a heel turn on Marcel. I feel because like maybe Marcel fucks up or some shit.
I
How was that a
debated.
heel turn?
I like plants this. I didn't say heel. I meant like plants the seeds. Like like he fucked up. Like type deal.
Okay.
Like he's literally doing right now.
Yeah. Or you could plant. I actually thought that a good ending for this match would be like that chokehold Walter uses. I thought it wouldn't be crazy to have Walter catch Wardlow in that, and like it'd take an absurd amount of time for him to actually pass out from it. Like I don't know how long normally they pass out once they do, like once the sleeper holds hit in the match where it's their finish. But I thought like if he goes like 2-3 minutes being in the hold and just not going to sleep, but then that starts to bore fans, so I don't know. But I think that would be a good finish too. Anyway, the next match.
Okay.
The next match is hopefully by this event Randy would be back. Is the Rated RKO coming together for one night only against two other heels in AEW, which is the Un-Americans joining again for one night only, former WWE Tag Team Champions, Christian Cage and Chris Jericho, who are managed by their former manager, William Regal.
I don't know why, but I thought you were gonna say Jack Swagger and Cesaro.
With the Un-Americans.
That's what I thought. That's really what I thought too. I thought he was gonna say the real Americans.
With the Un-Americans.
Who wins this?
With the Un-Americans picking up a win after interference and full heel turn from William Regal.
Wait, how the fuck do they win this if they get turned on?
No, William's a face right now with the club,
Okay.
with the battle
BCC?
with the BCC, Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
Excuse me. So he's full face right now. I think this would be okay with turning him heel, which in the same aspect turns every member of the BCC heel, and also introduces, this is just hypothetically, it merges the BCC with the JPC, no, with the JAP, no, JAS, and also adds Cage and Luchasaurus, which builds a dynasty team of AEW.
Bullet Club versus JAS.
No, the team would be called the Dynasty.
Okay, Bullet Club versus the Dynasty. I can see that happening.
With seeds being planted for AEW going forward here. Okay. So this ladder match, winner is added to the main event, which has been agreed on by Vince McMahon and Tony Khan, who before this ladder match come out to the ring and shake hands and agree, Vince McMahon and Tony does, in the middle of the ring, that after tonight, there will be one AEW/WWE champion, and they will be the World Heavyweight Champion.
That's the world. Dun dun dun.
And it's just for me, and I love it so much. The championship is unveiled as the NWA Big Gold Belt.
Ooh.
You know the one I'm talking about, V?
Goldie.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen. The ladder match then ensues, with the ladder match containing 3 WWE and 3 AEW guys. With the AEW guys being Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Kenny Omega.
Mm.
And
Okay.
the WWE guys being Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. So,
okay, Kevin Owens is a bit of a shocker.
The winner of this 6-man ladder match is Cody Rhodes.
Figured.
Which people may ask, but he can never challenge for the AEW championship. The exact words uttered by Chris Jericho is, as long as you work for AEW, you cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship. But he does not work for AEW, which means he is now
Long-term storytelling.
the challenger,
Yeah,
and add
you
it to the
really are
triple threat
going long
match.
term.
So before the
Okay.
main event, we have 3 matches, 2 consisting of women's matches. Next, the Ring of Honor World Champion, who this is future prediction, because next Sunday, Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro, takes on Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Future predictions, Claudio wins that match. He goes on to face Braun Breaker at AEW's versus WWE's event, with Claudio eaching out the W slightly because of a missed spear, goes into the turnbuckle, locks in sharpshooter, Braun passes out.
Cool.
The next match is between Charlotte Flair and Britt Baker, with Charlotte losing
Thank you.
because of interference
That boy said thank you.
by Andrade Cien Almas.
Okay. All right. You're fantasy booking at this point.
That's
So
what this whole event is.
I know, but everything is realistic as fuck. They're not gonna let this happen, bro. They're fucking married. AEW has some realism to it. They're not gonna do fucking anti-marriage storylines. I mean, WWE would be the type of people to do that. They will literally have fucking Rusev fuck Liv Morgan. But no, AEW will not agree to that.
Okay, fair. Let me produce a little spin for you. Would it be different if Andrade helped Charlotte and win the match?
Yeah.
Or if Andrade was going to come out and help Charlotte, and then Adam Cole helped distract the Charlotte, Britt wins the match.
Yeah, that's better. It's way better.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Way better.
So next, we have a fatal 4-way. Every women's champion is going to fight, but the titles are not on the line. So you have Mandy Rose for NXT, Liv Morgan
Baddie.
for SmackDown,
Baddie alert.
Bianca
Double
Belair,
baddie alert. Triple baddie alert.
and Thunder Rosa.
Fucking pervert.
With the winner being the EST.
Isn't Jake
Bianca
Cargill
Belair.
one of the fucking champions?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Am I
isn't Jake
tripping?
Cargill one of the champions?
Theoretically, Jade was supposed to be in this match, but was jumped by Toxic Attraction, which is why Mandy's in this match. Building up on the
You
little
want
rivalry.
NXT to be loved.
I just don't feel like I don't.
Building up on the storyline of Mandy and Cargill's actual in real life Twitter beef. I feel like you could turn that into something if you want to do a second card like this down the road.
They have Twitter beef.
Yeah. Even to the
I
point
want
where
to see Jake Cargill versus Bianca Belair, but that's just me.
no, because in that Cargill would have to lose her streak. WWE's not going to let Bianca lose.
Okay, so do what you do with fucking Walter and fucking what's his fucking name? Wardlow, and just have a draw.
Okay. The main event. The WWE Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns versus the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, because I'm guessing he would have beat CM Punk by this point, Jon Moxley, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
If it's not Cody Rhodes, I'm mad. We riding.
The winner, and I'm going to even go more a bit into this, at some point during this match, Seth comes out. Because you have to have a shield moment, I'm sorry.
Down with Cass. Down with Cass.
No, at some point, Seth comes out. And he is fighting against Cody. So Rollins, Moxley, and Roman are all beating the hell out of Cody. They beat him from post to post, corner to corner, all out through the arena, and he's just done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Rollins turns to Moxley and said, you two get in the ring, you handle it like men, you handle it like we would have. Like how the Shield would have back in the day.
Okay.
They go, and they're fighting. And Roman nails a spear into a paradigm shift. Moxley's laid out. And then...
Wait, so Roman hits a spear, but it's reversed into a paradigm shift.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is something we've seen before, where Moxley was just doing like the DDT version, not the lift into the. Is something we've seen before. So
kind of like a spear into pedigree.
yes, but at this point, Moxley's not able to cover because he's exhausted. This match has went like 30, 40 minutes.
It's a long ass pay-per-view.
It's gonna be like 5 hours. It's gonna be like Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door was not that long, was it?
Yes, it was. It was 5 hours.
Okay.
You walk in. I mean, Cody basically crawls back to the ring, crawls up the steps. He's not walking yet. He's crawling up the steps. He covers Mox. 1, 2, kick out. He covers Roman. 1, 2, kick out. And now at this point, everything is just absolutely pandemonium.
This is all you hear. Fight forever.
So there's a point in the match where everybody's staggering up to their feet and they're punching. Well, Roman knocks Moxley. Moxley falls out of the ring. He's exhausted. He's done. Cody gets hit, counters, turns around, hits a jumping disaster kick. And then they're both down. And Cody's like on the ropes, on the bottom rope, staring north towards the entrance way. Down comes Dustin Rhodes. And tells Cody, this is what our father planned for us. Do this. He turns around into a spear. 1, 2, kick out by Cody.
Oh my God.
Roman.
What is this, NXT?
Roman then gets up for another spear. 1, 2. Cody then gets up for another spear. Roman runs at him. Cody moves out of the way, locks in the crossroads, hits the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody is laying under the lights with all 3 championships of the world, which is what his dad couldn't do. And at that moment, you hear A-Town down. And Austin Theory comes in.
Hypothetically, you are saying this happens within the next 11 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Austin Theory comes out, hits the A-Town down, and Austin Theory is the first ever unified world heavyweight champion.
Second ever.
Oh, second ever, because Cody would have held it for what? Fucking 30 seconds?
Yep.
And then he takes a picture of Cody.
Shit, I'm okay with it.
Says, when heartbreak happens. And tweets it out.
Ryan knows this is my dream. This is my dream scenario.
This is the caption he posts on Instagram. End of the road. So RHODE.
Nightmare's over.
Okay.
I think that's a perfect card. You have stuff that happens if you want to do an AEW versus WWE 2. There's stuff to carry on with. You can do Cody versus Theory for the unified title. Moxley would get his rematch at some point. So would Reigns. So you got a lot of stuff to carry on with if you want to do another one of these.
Okay, so here's the thing. So basically by this, you're telling me that they're establishing a work relationship that continues after.
Well,
so
this whole show
gets bought out.
This is a whole show. This whole show is theoretical. Because I had I had every tag team championship unified. Every major tag team championship unified except Impact's. So this is all theoretical. Because I think it would be awesome to have traveling champions again.
Cool.
I'm glad you didn't go too realistic with it, because then it just would have got
bland,
I feel like.
If you go too realistic, then you got to actually think, would Vince let this guy win? Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think that's what's fun about these theoretical. You can just, there's so many things you can come up with. That's just so many different things.
I do gotta thank you though. I do gotta thank you. You are the only person that I've ever seen that has not involved MJF and The Miz in a match, and it's fucking annoying. They're both heels. They're both literally the same guy. It does not work. They don't mix.
Logan Paul not on the card?
There's a lot of guys that are on the card. The Young Bucks aren't on the card.
Logan Paul versus Najee Harris.
The Young Bucks aren't on the card. There's a lot of teams that aren't on the card.
To be on the card. Lucha Bros are not on the card. Montez Ford isn't on the. I think this would have been a good point. I think
Well,
like if you had them Montez Ford
Punk's
eliminating Angelo
I
Dawkins in
think
like the battle royal,
personally,
would be
I think
cool.
if AEW actually did this, Punk would leave. Y'all want me to be 100% serious if this actually happened?
yep.
I feel like Punk
Doesn't
would
Punk
leave.
have an escape clause?
I'm not sure about that. I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah, I would almost be
'cause-
certain that he has an escape clause with previous experience.
With Big Show and Mark Henry both getting escape clauses, I wouldn't be.
Well, Big Show's got an ironclad contract everywhere he fucking goes. Okay.
Big ass motherfucker.
But anyway, I think there's room now for you to do more shows like this going forward if you wanted to do that. So.
Well,
I think it's a very exciting time to be a wrestling fan in general.
Yep.
With all the hypotheticals.
Yep. If you can make this many hypotheticals, then
There
I think
were so many different ways you could have gone with the card.
I think this is the best era of wrestling ever since the best year of wrestling. Let me put it that way. Best year of wrestling and since 2016, 15, something like that.
This is what I'm thinking. You having Cody win the main event is understanding that, like, it makes sense from a fan perspective. Like, so when Vince and Tony come out and like they're shaking hands, it makes sense. They're agreeing for the winner of this ladder match to be in it, and then like you even see Tony when Tony leaves the ring and Cody comes out for the ladder match. You even see like Tony give Cody an eye because he knows that Cody, if he wins the title at the end, wouldn't screw him over. So even like when Cody first wins the championship at the end, you see Tony come out and he's like collaborating him, and Tony's in the ring when you hear A-Town down, and then Vince comes out with a smile on his face and sends Theory down. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Raw's War type moment where you fucking
where AEW,
one thing happens and it's a fucking plot twist.
AEW's thought they won this. They thought that they've got him. So.
Yep. Because you think that Cody Rhodes is gonna turn on him because he's the creator of AEW. So and then you fucking have Theory come down and just kick his ass, and that's just a complete plot twist, and that just. If you're willing to solidify WWE as the premier company for wrestling, then that's how you go with it.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. Having Theory be able to travel between WWE and AEW also gives AEW a new top heel if MJF doesn't resign.
MJF's not going to resign.
Which they don't have right now. So they're trying to build it with Cage, but it all depends on how it goes.
Yeah. For sure. All right. Well, that was a pretty good card.
All right. Go into the NFL stuff.
Oh, you went? I was thinking we could go to the NBA first. Let me close it out.
I need a little bit more time to gather my thoughts, so I would appreciate if we go with football first.
All right, cool. Alrighty, so, would y'all rather go with the what did you call it? I think we start with the NFC North. Pick a side, or would y'all rather have
Let's go with
the NFC North predictions? Okay.
Let's do the NFC.
All right, we're gonna start with the Detroit Lions. You along with that?
No problem. I am pulling up the schedules right now.
Okay. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lions and their roster. So, off the rip, we already know Detroit isn't a very good team, but they got a lot of building potential with a lot of new guys. You got Jameson Williams, St. Brown, who's good in his rookie year. I mean, he had to really lead that receiver core.
Very much so.
His first year.
I think this team's a lot better than they were last year.
For sure, but do they win more games than they won last year? Because it doesn't matter if they're better on paper.
Well, that's having a look at. They have a very good offensive line in my thoughts with Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, ASWELL. They have a good tight end.
The offensive line.
They have Jameson Williams, who's good. They have DeAndre Swift, who's a good back out of the backfield.
Receiving back and all, he can do it all.
They got a Monroe St.
And
Brown.
they got a good backup power back and Jamal Williams.
They've even got to tape the top off a guy with Khalif, so they've even got a guy that can do that. They got Josh Reynolds, who was really good as a late ad for him last year.
Right.
So it sounds like this team's gonna be very sneaky in the North.
Right. It could be a very like sneaky, like okay, they might get the wins. Like,
They
definitely.
might get into a wild card type deal.
Now,
Like, that's what it seems like.
now the NFC itself isn't very deep, so it is very possible that the records aren't very tight, so they could make it in there
A
The
couple
depending
problem,
on what
breakout
their schedule
stars.
looks like.
yeah, they got a couple. The problem with this is they don't have the breakout stars on defense. They're trying to build up that defense. They have probably 3 players I'd say that are really really good players. Maybe 4. Deshaun Elliott was really good with Baltimore. They got Jeff Okuda, who's played really well. Michael Brockers was really good with the Rams, and then they drafted Aiden Hutchinson with the number 1 overall pick. So
I think for sure Aiden Hutchinson is gonna be a dog for sure.
You think he can be rookie of the year?
Aiden Hutchinson should be a dog. And here's the thing about Dan Campbell. See, I know a lot about Dan Campbell. He used to be one of the Saints tight end coaches. But man did step up, and he's got like the heart of a lion. I mean,
it's
he's
not
got the heart of
hard.
a lion.
It's not hard to say that though, Alex, that he could be defensive player of the year, because you're looking at a team. You're looking at a class that really wasn't that deep defensive edge wise.
I mean, you got Jermaine Johnson and what's his face?
Wait, Aiden Hutchinson didn't go number 1 overall. The dude to the Jags did. My bad.
1-2.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson, Aiden Hutchinson. Those are 3 right there that you can go back and forth with. But again, it's not just defensive linemen. You know,
All I've
defensive
heard,
player of the year,
I've
defensive
heard,
rookie of the year is all around.
I've heard a lot regarding the corners, and I don't think a corner wins it this year. I think it would be hard for a corner to win it this year.
True. I mean, I don't know, unless you're Sauce Gardner. I mean, Sauce Gardner's really the guy that only has the only shot because he's the only like corner that's gonna have a straight up starting job, I think.
Derek Stingley.
Yeah, Derek Stingley too. But Derek Stingley, okay. Derek Stingley, he's
also
on a very bad defense.
He's also gonna face he's gonna face a lot
defense.
less good receiving core. Tennessee doesn't have really a good receiving core. Indianapolis really doesn't. They have a young core. Jacksonville overpaid a bunch of mid guys, so he might have a better chance of putting up more interceptions against less competition. So
yeah, see Detroit, but back to the whole thing about Detroit. Detroit's got a pretty decent defense. Okay, I'm more worried about Jared Goff. Okay, Jared Goff can't thrive in a. You can't build an offense from
this
Jared
offense
Goff.
is
The
built
offense
to win
has
with
to
Jared
be
Goff.
there.
This
No,
offense,
it's not. See, look at Jared Goff's best years. Look at Jared Goff's, I guess you could call it prime years. Jared Goff thrived in Los Angeles because he already had receivers like Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. Those are 2 receivers that he's had from the jump. And
I feel like stuff like that though puts like pressure on an athlete coming from an athlete when you put like into a position like that, like where it's so like you're expected to do great things because you have these players around you. I feel like it's gonna make you underperform, I guess. But I feel like where he's in a position where it's like, okay, now there's not as like much pressure because everyone's expecting us to do bad because of what we did last year.
yeah.
Okay.
So I want to prove.
These are his. All right,
This is how I do.
These are his stats last year with Khalif Raymond and Amon-Ra St. Brown as his starting 2 receivers. He had 32,000 yards, 19 TDs with 8 interceptions.
3,200.
That's what I said, 3,200.
You said 32,000.
3,200.
God.
19 TDs, 8 interceptions with a 91% completion percentage, which is higher than every single one of his years in LA.
91 rating.
My point exactly. Like I'm not disagreeing with you. Like he's not the quarterback. I'm just saying, like from an athlete's point of view, I understand like why he would be underperforming in an LA situation where he has all these like you also got to think you're in LA, like
You've also got
one
to
of the
think.
mecca.
You also got to think he had a coach that
Sports.
didn't want him as their quarterback. Sean McVay didn't draft Jared
Exactly.
Goff. He
I can give you
inherited
that.
Jared Goff.
He is. Jared Goff was put in a very intense situation, but they've broken down offense. Again, last year was his first year in Detroit. He played with nobody. Nobody
Exactly.
on this offense came from Los Angeles,
It
except
didn't sound like the team was
Josh
awful.
Reynolds.
Also, you got to
And-
think. You got to think maybe like not having your coach's approval hurts you a lot.
Yeah, but he succeeded more in Los Angeles. But
Because you
I
got to think
get your
Sean,
point.
But it's again with the weapons. But yeah.
Sean
I
McVay
get the point.
had a really good offensive scheme and a very good defense with Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was insane the years they went to the Super Bowl where he threw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah. Well, I think the offense can be very solid. They got a pretty underrated wide receiver core for sure. And a question that has raised a lot of eyes, or that has opened a lot of eyes, is will Jamison Williams be back in time for the season to start?
I could see him maybe missing a couple of games. He got injured in the national championship game. I could see him missing a couple of games. We just got to see how it plans out for the season.
And he's gonna miss training camp entirely. That's for sure.
I wouldn't want to rush someone back though.
Especially
Exactly, but he's gonna miss training camp. And that's definitely gonna hurt him. Missing training camp isn't.
Conditions would be awful.
Yeah, I mean, missing training camp is no ordinary
Okay, so
no ordinary.
let's go
mishap.
through this. Let's go through this. Week 1 of the regular season, they face the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's a loss.
Yeah, that's easy. Oh.
All right, so that's 1-0.
I think Philly's gonna definitely make their statement with that game, but you can't. This is the thing about Philly.
Then
You
again,
can't really.
Philly has a lot of new pieces. That might be a game where they get caught. So I'm giving a win to Philly with the understanding that Detroit might shoot out like a cannon, like they've done in previous years where they got a couple of wins early. I don't see.
Yeah, when they faced the Rams last year, they didn't win the game. They started really quick. They can start really quick and they can just shut Philadelphia down with the defense.
Detroit lost over half of their games last year that they lost by less than 7 points.
Yeah, by less than a touchdown. Yeah, and that's.
So
I think once Dan Campbell and the entire team learns how to finish games, it's gonna be scary.
Okay, so
I feel like a year like last year though is gonna motivate a team like this though.
Yeah,
this team is hungry. They're known for being shit.
They were.
So I feel like with the young group they have, I feel like there's a lot of potential here.
I think there's
especially looking at this. They have a very favorable schedule while I'm looking at it.
You have a sneaky coach of the year candidate, in my opinion, in Dan Campbell, a guy that was really good last year.
I wouldn't put it past them beating the Eagles, but I don't see it happening.
So
I like the Eagles a lot.
That's unlikely, but not surprising if it happens.
So Washington, I would give that to Detroit. Arguably, I'd give Minnesota to Detroit. I feel like, I don't know though. Minnesota's got some really good core weapons. Maybe Minnesota gets that one. It all depends on how Kirk plays. Kirk has been the idea for that team.
So they're 0-3 at this point.
No, I have them at.
He had him beating Washington.
Yeah, I had them beating Washington.
Okay. Well, they're beating Seattle. That's for sure. I can almost guarantee that they will beat Seattle.
All right, so let's just say Minnesota beats them. They're 2-2. I think New England takes a step back this year. So
I still don't think they beat New England though.
I think they do. I think they're on a 3. I think they lose the first 2 and then go on this 3-game winning streak and then lose to the Cowboys. I think they beat the Vikings, the Seahawks, and the Patriots.
My thing is by week 5 we're gonna know how good Aiden's gonna play this year.
True.
Aiden could be a problem in this New England Patriots game against a very young quarterback in Mac Jones, who struggled under pressure last year when he was getting with hands in his face. He very much struggled with facing
Who
Aiden
who
Hunt.
is who's the left tackle?
Didn't they get? I know Joe Thuney's there. They have another guy too. I just can't recall of his name. He's actually pretty good. But with Michael Brockers, you have some guys that can blitz from the safety position. I don't see that being a loss, but we could give them a loss. It's 2-3. They're gonna lose to Dallas.
2-4.
2-4. They could beat
I
Miami.
think they beat the Dolphins.
They could beat
They
Miami.
can beat Miami, but will they? We gotta understand what Miami's done this offseason as well.
They got.
But you gotta also think about like that, like the chemistry of. But I mean, it is later in the year, so
Yeah, it's gonna be later in the year at this point. If they're not
I see what
together,
you
then they never will be.
They've got Tyreek. Was their big offseason move this year?
Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki,
they got a good receiving core. They got.
Mike Gesicki,
Who they have on
Good receiving
defense? 'Cause
core.
I don't really follow.
Xavier Howard, Byron Jones,
Javon Holland.
Game
That
like
might be
this,
a
Javon
loss.
Holland. Yeah, it's definitely. I think that's a loss. I think Miami's definitely a good team this year.
So what is that? 2-5.
2-5.
All right.
for me, that's 3-5.
All right. So arguably, I have them beating Green Bay.
I have them
3-4.
winning one of the Green Bay games.
That's what I'm saying, and I think realistically they could win this early one.
Yeah.
So I have them.
I feel like injuries will happen.
I have them beating both Chicago and New York.
It's another 5-5.
Yeah, 5-5. They take an L to Buffalo. They beat Jacksonville and
5-6.
Minnesota the second time.
6-6. 7-6.
They beat New York and the Panthers.
9-6.
They look like they might make the fucking playoffs.
So 9-6. These final two games matter. They beat the Bears. They're 10-6. So minimum's 10-7. Maximum 11-6. Because this last game's against.
I don't think they go 10-7 or 11-6. I think their ceiling's 9-8. To be honest with you.
Okay, then I was looking at that earlier. Maybe they get a loss to New York. New York's a really good team that's built themselves up recently. Maybe they get a loss to New York.
You talking about the Giants or the Jets?
Jets. The Jets have improved their secondary. They got Sauce Gardner, who we talked about earlier. So
Yeah, I mean,
they've got a young QB though, but he's a stud, legit.
I think he's the wrong QB.
I think they go 7-10, 9-8, somewhere in between there, or that.
Let me run through this again. I'll let you hold up. So,
While you do that,
3-2.
While you do that, let's move on to my opinion.
4.
Going to be the absolute worst in this division, Chicago.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go through their team real quick, and
I think they'll get 10 wins.
we're gonna go through the
Going
depth
back
chart,
on that.
and then we're gonna go to the schedule after this. So,
I'm going with 10 as well.
okay. So first on the
I think they're gonna be a
offense.
surprising team.
Okay, let's go through
On the
Chicago's
offense,
depth
we
chart.
got Justin Fields at quarterback. I think last year he showed really I think he showed some flashes of, being a potential franchise quarterback.
Yes.
We had David Montgomery, who I am not sure he can stay healthy.
Which is
I
why, in
think
my
that's-
opinion, that's why, in my opinion, you get Khalil Herbert because
Yeah. Khalil Herbert did just fine last year when he was a backup. Then you got Darnell Mooney, N'Keal Harry, Equimania St. Brown,
which
and
is
Byron
not
Pringle.
which is not a great core in itself either. Not at all.
It's
You
not
got-
really a great core, but Darnell Mooney is good. Don't even front like Darnell Mooney's trash. He's good.
No, he's good.
However, Darnell Mooney cannot be a lead guy, and I just
You
don't
got
believe
you
that.
got Malicious Jones Jr., who's gonna be a starting receiver for them. You got Byron Pringle. That's not a bad starting three.
Cole Kmet's gonna be good. Kari's good if they use him.
Kari's good if
Their
they
O
use him
line's
right.
pretty weak.
It's pretty
O line
weak.
is really weak.
It's weak on the white side. They're hoping a lot that Tevin Jenkins actually is really good. He was drafted this year, but
Yeah.
he's playing on the left side.
So I think the offense isn't great.
No, the offense isn't great.
But
The defense secondary wise isn't much better.
yeah, but
They got Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson's really good.
They got Jalen Johnson. They got Traven Young, Dan Cruikshank from Tennessee. They got one real good pass rusher in Robert Quinn, who
Eddie
had
Jackson.
18 sacks. Eddie Jackson, but he's kind of failed off recently.
Al-Quadr Muhammad is good. I will say this right now. Al-Quadr Muhammad is really good.
I just think this team is the team that ends up losing a lot of games.
Yeah, and you know what? I will be devil's advocate real quick, and we can talk about this in a different episode, but we're not doing it now. The Saints 2017 draft is the greatest draft class of all time. Look up the statistics and fight me. Okay. That's all I'm just saying.
So
Send to the schedule though.
Week 1 they start off against San Francisco. That's a loss.
L.
Week 2 they start off against Green Bay. Loss. Week 3
L.
Houston. Loss. Houston's gonna be secretly good this year.
No.
B, look at Houston's team.
No.
Who's their quarterback?
Davis fucking Mills.
Davis Mills did good last year.
Good with who?
Last year.
Exactly.
No. That's not what I meant. He did not do good last year.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not. Don't even say he did good, bro.
He did.
Davis Mills, 2,664 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
That's not
good.
That's not bad for a 4th round rookie who's throwing to backups with no run game.
Backups, bud. Oh, he's throwing to Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks is their
Danny
only.
Amendola, Nico Collins. Nico Collins is good. Don't fucking.
It's not
Brevin
Nico.
Jordan, Philip Dorsett, Mark Ingram for a while. Philip.
All right, hold up. Let me talk. Brevin Jordan was a 5th round pick.
That doesn't mean he's a bum though. Marquise Colston was a 7th round pick, and he's one of the greatest undrafted players ever.
You just said he was a 7th round pick. How was he undrafted?
My bad, 7th round pick. He's one of the best 7th round picks ever.
Late pick.
Yeah, and he's one of these
And plus, Houston's gonna be able to run the ball a lot with Marlon Mack, Rex Burkhead, and Dameon Pierce. They're gonna run the ball a lot.
Yeah, but the D line though, the D line of Chicago is made for run stopping.
They've got, and plus the secondary here is so good. They're gonna be able to shut down Justin Fields, who
I don't think
who's
they
not.
do.
They got Steven Nelson, Fabian Monroe, Desmond King, Derek Stingley, Eric McCoy.
Eric McCoy's a center for the Saints.
Bro, Eric Murray. My bad.
I still think they lose it. For me, they're on 3. For you, they're 1-2.
I got him 0 for 3.
New York Giants. Another L.
Yeah, I'd give them that. I just think, yeah, I'd give them that.
0-5. Washington. 0-6. New England.
Where's Washington?
Week 6.
Vikings.
I said Minnesota. Minnesota.
Oh.
Minnesota 0-5. Washington 0-6. New England 0-7. Don't even say this isn't realistic because
No, it is.
Detroit didn't win a game until week 12. Dallas 0-8. Miami 0-9.
I thought you had them winning against Houston.
No, I don't. You do. I don't. Week 10.
No, we don't.
I think they pull one off against Detroit.
I had Houston winning, and you had.
I don't have Houston winning.
So then Chicago.
So why are we having an argument over it?
Then Chicago. No, I had Houston winning, which means Chicago would have one win. Why are you saying they're 0 something?
Chicago wouldn't have one win.
So you're
If you
saying
said
Houston?
For
Houston's
me,
gonna win,
for me,
how would
So,
Chicago have a win?
for
okay,
me, I
hold
said
up.
Chicago's not gonna win.
So Chicago's not going to beat Houston.
No,
That's
Oh,
what I said.
if now you're saying that you have a win. What win?
No, I thought
everybody who watches this, go back and listen to this dumb fuck speak about how Houston's gonna win. They're not.
that's what I
Language.
said.
Wait, Houston's gonna win. Houston is gonna.
We all agree Houston's winning,
Houston.
right?
No, hold
Yeah.
on. Houston's not gonna win.
No, I was talking about how
Hold
good
on.
their
Have a
team
win.
was.
You're saying, oh, when we're okay.
Houston's gonna. Yeah, Houston's gonna win. So never mind. Yeah. Okay,
Silence right.
I'm done.
Okay, there you go.
They're 1-8 right now. Okay, so then we go on to
Then who do they get the
Detroit and
win over?
Atlanta. Houston for me.
So Chicago beats Houston for you.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. They go on to Detroit. So they're right now they're 1-8. They go on to Detroit. I think they win that. They go to Atlanta. They win another one.
We just
3-8.
Yeah, we just did Detroit, and we had Detroit beating Chicago.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind. So yeah, they beat Detroit in this week. Shut up. 2-8. I'm tired as fuck right now. It's 5 in the
Ryan
morning.
being a dumbass.
Okay. 2-8. They face
No, what do you
Atlanta.
mean? Don't you mean 1-9?
Yes. Okay. 1-9. I'm tired as fuck. Okay. 1-9.
I've done this
They face
before,
Atlanta. They lose another one. 1-10.
They
New
lose to
York.
New York.
Jets. They lose to New York. 1-11. Green Bay. 1-12. Bye week. They get their rest. Not enough. Philadelphia. 1-13.
Not enough.
Again. Buffalo. 1-14.
So they lose the
Detroit.
rest. They only get one win.
Detroit. This time, I think they beat Detroit. I said this earlier. If you go back, you'll hear it.
You did.
Detroit.
We had
They're
10.
2-13. They're 2-14 now. Then
And then
Minnesota, and they lose this one. They end up being 2-15. Chicago is the worst team in the fucking league. No, never mind. They're not the worst team in the league. We'll get to that in a different episode. Anyway,
What do you mean they're not the worst
But-
team in the league?
they're the
Who's
second
worse?
worst team in the league.
To who?
You'll see. You'll see.
It better not be Houston
Falcons?
or it better be the Falcons.
It is the Falcons, but you'll see that for another
We
episode.
had them losing to the Falcons.
Still, the Falcons win more games than they do, so therefore the
We're doing the
Fal-
Vikings next.
Yeah.
Falcons win less games than Chicago. There. Now, next, Minnesota Vikings. This is a team that I think could make the wild card. Okay, let's go to the depth chart. Easily one of the best receiving cores. Kirk Cousins at quarterback. A lot of people say this guy isn't capable of taking them deep, which he hasn't done yet. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is a suitable starter. I think Kirk Cousins can take them to the playoffs. I just think he's been given very bad timing recently. If that makes any sense.
Understandable. They have a really good running
So-
back. They have 3 really good receivers.
They have 3 really good running backs, actually. One's not a running back; he's considered a returner, but
Whew.
Kine Nwangu. He fucking returned like 200-yard kickoffs last year, I think it was.
Alexander Madison, whenever his contract's up, he's going to be a starter on the team.
Facts. And if Dalvin Cook gets hurt for like a couple games like he does every season, just for those couple of games, Alexander Madison steps up. He always does.
The offensive line always looks shabby for Minnesota, but they always end up making it work. So I'm not even going to mention that. It always looks bad.
You look at the names and they're pretty bad, but they always make it work.
So
Justin Jefferson, who will be the best receiver in the league after 2022 said and done.
I think
Thielen, a guy who's definitely regressed.
I think you got Irv Smith, a guy that doesn't have to really perform well because of the strength of the 3 receivers. I think he even does kind of good this year. The strength of this team, in my opinion, is the defense. This defense is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Go
got
for
Eric
it.
Kendricks, Jordan Hicks, Darius Smith, Patrick Peterson, Harrison Smith, the Hitman. You got Cameron Dazzler. You got Andrew Booth Jr., who, in my opinion, was one of the better corners this year coming out of the draft. I had him as probably my third corner, maybe my fourth, because I had Stingley, Gardner, and then Sticky and Booth were right there. Sticky, Roger McCreary, and Booth. So those were my 3 and 4. You get them. They have Chaz Surratt. They have Troy Dye. They got some really young players that are more developmental pieces. They got one of the best outside linebackers in the whole league in Danielle Hunter, who's consistently underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I
think their depth's an issue. So if someone does go down,
I agree. With an older corner room, you need more depth than what they have.
Yeah.
Which they could theoretically, which they could fix. They still got time to sign guys.
Yeah, I think their offense has enough firepower to still make it work, though. Now let's head to the schedule. Lace schedule. Alrighty, week 1. Green Bay.
Week 1, that's a
This game
win.
happens every year. Week 1, I'm pretty sure it's happened every year. Week 1, it's either Green Bay and the Bears or Green Bay and Minnesota. That's a dub for them? You think that's a dub?
I think so,
It is week 1. Anything can happen.
I think that's a win.
Okay. Move on to Philadelphia. They're 1-0.
I think that's a loss to Philly.
Okay. Philly's establishing themselves. So they're 1-1 at this point. Now, Detroit. W, right? We established that's a W.
Yes.
For Minnesota. Okay, 2-1. New Orleans.
Why is that game at 8 o'clock in the morning?
It's in London.
Oh my god. Okay.
Minnesota versus New Orleans.
Is that a W for Minnesota?
I want to hear your opinion first before I go off. Do my thing.
Minnesota and New Orleans has a very storied history. Minnesota's won some games. New Orleans won some games.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans has been better in the regular season.
Yep.
I just don't know if y'all do have the secondary depth to keep up with the receivers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this to New Orleans. Yeah.
Okay. Smart boy. 2-2.
Says smart boy.
Chicago week 5. We've established that's a dub, right? So
yeah.
3-2.
Miami. I think this is a hard fought game. I think Minnesota gets the dub here 4-2.
They established themselves as a team that could definitely close out those hard games.
Yes.
4-2. Bye week, they get rest. They go and face the newly DeAndre Hopkins.
The worsened
DeAndre Hopkins.
Cardinals, basically.
How are they worsened though?
Bro, they lost Christian Kirk. They lost defensive pieces.
Okay. Defense, I could see, but Rondale Moore is replacing Christian Kirk.
They got a guy who I don't think was even that good in. I think he was very much not what Baltimore.
AJ Green. I don't know. Hollywood. Yeah, Hollywood's there too. Fuck.
He's not as good as I think what Baltimore thought they were drafting.
Well, when you put him in a system with a running quarterback.
When you put him in this system, though, I feel like the offensive line could be an issue, but I think this receiver core actually
is just scramblers, so you can get away from that.
True. It's just about how much Kyler actually wants to put into this season.
Well, if Kyler wants out of there and he wants on another team as a starter, he's gonna have to put some in there.
Yeah, true. This defense is pretty good too. I'm gonna give this one to Arizona actually.
Okay. Let's see. So that's what 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2.
Then we go to Washington. I think they get a dub here again.
Okay.
6-2.
Okay.
They go to Buffalo. They take an L.
Okay.
6-3. Dallas.
Dallas gets the. I don't want to say it, but Dallas gets the win.
Yeah, I kind of agree. 6-4.
New England, that's a win for Minnesota.
Yep, 7-4. And okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Every team has a time where they walk into a trap game.
This is theirs. New York
Others
gets
would
the win.
say a game that you're really expected to win,
New York,
but you don't win.
New York gets the
New
win.
York Jets is that game. So they're what, 7-5?
7-5. They beat Detroit 8-5.
They beat Detroit. Did they beat Indy?
It all depends on how Matt Ryan is at this point. Let's go theoretically that he does okay, which is where I feel like he's gonna be. Is not great, but not bad.
Better than Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Is that where you're putting him? Okay.
Yeah, better than Carson Wentz, worse than Super Bowl Matt Ryan.
Okay.
That's where I'm putting him.
So what I'm hearing is Minnesota wins.
Yes.
So that's 8-6.
They get the win over New York. Green Bay beats them, and then they beat
9-6.
Chicago.
9-7. 10-7. 10-7. Do they make it in the playoffs?
Yes,
we'll
they win that division, in my opinion.
You think the Packers are going to do worse than 10-7?
Yeah.
Wait, no, Ryan, you had.
We're about to find out.
I had Chicago.
You said them and the Lions.
I had the Lions.
Them and the Lions having the same amount of wins.
Yeah, but Minnesota beat the Lions more, which gives Minnesota the tie.
You think the Packers are doing worse than the Lions and?
Yeah, I don't think the Packers are going to do good
the
this year.
Vikings?
Okay, well, let's talk about it, though. Okay. First, this offense, man, it's so different than what you think it would be. So, we got Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. That's obvious. Does Aaron Rodgers really want to be there? Probably not no more after they literally traded away his right hand.
Yes.
Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, a good running back combo. Probably the best.
Probably one of the worst receiving corps in all of football.
One of the worst receiving corps in all of football. I don't know how Allen Lazard's your wide receiver 1.
Then they have a guy, Christian Watson, who actually people seem to like a lot. Then they have Sammy Watkins, who's a shell of what he was.
Bummed out. Yeah, he's bummed out.
You don't think he'll have a breakout year like everyone thinks
is okay. Christian Watson?
No,
or Sammy?
Because I think what the problem is with Christian Watson is quickly he's.
No, I'm not talking about Christian Watson. I'm talking about Sammy Watkins.
Oh no.
No.
I've been hearing people are saying Sammy's gonna thrive with Aaron Rodgers as QB.
Well, he also had Josh Allen as his QB and Lamar, and he's had
he also
a lot of really good QBs.
For those teams in this,
he's still not the first option.
I feel like he could be.
Well, he's wide receiver 3 according to this, but I mean, you really don't know until it's all said and done. I
think quickly either Sammy or Christian gets the starting job. I think Christian more likely gets the starting job, which makes it where Christian is going to see a lot of double teams. I'm not saying that Christian is a bad player. I'm saying what we will see is he's going to end up getting double teamed a lot, which is going to negate what he can do. And I feel like you got Amari Rodgers who has back problems. No, never mind. That's not Amari Rodgers that has back problems. It's Justin Ross.
Yeah.
You got Amari Rodgers who was a 5th round pick last year. Yeah.
I think it was 3rd.
But then you got Randall Cobb who was a shell of himself last year. You got, in my opinion, one of the better tight ends, but he's an older guy in Robert Tonyan.
Yeah.
And then you've got Bakhtiari. You've got...
Bakhtiari is one of my favorite players in the NFL. Man does shoeies. I like shoeies.
This defense is what is going to end up winning them games, though, in my opinion. They got Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, Devondre Campbell. Well, I think Campbell's not as good as he was in Atlanta. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's crazy that Rasul Douglas isn't the starter on this list.
They got Rasul Douglas, Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes played better than him last year. They got J.R. Alexander. They got a guy that I'm really high on in Shamar John Charles.
Yeah.
They got Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage. I think it just comes down to this team. They have to get things right on offense.
Yeah.
Like they have the backs to be able to run it
Don't
consistently.
forget they lost some coaching staff too. If they know how to get to the Broncos, offensive coordinator, long time offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Schedule time.
Did
Week
we
1
have
Minnesota, we already established that's an L for them. 0-1.
Chicago? That's a win. That's 1-1.
1-1. Tampa Bay.
Tampa is a massive loss. There's no way they have
Massive loss.
They don't have the receivers to keep up with Tampa on defense.
Okay.
Tampa's going to beat them by 20,
True.
30 points.
Ooh. I don't think Tampa's got that.
That's the hot take of the video.
I know Tampa's got the team. I know
Chris
Tampa's got the
Godwin.
team, but I don't think they got that edge anymore.
Chris
That
Godwin, Mike
pushes them
Evans,
past
Russell
other teams
Gage.
by 30.
Chris Godwin, Chris
I
Godwin,
understand that,
Mike
but
Evans,
when's the
Russell
last time you
Gage.
seen Tampa Bay beat a team by 30 or 20 even?
Didn't they beat a team by multiple touchdowns last year?
I didn't say multiple
I'm gonna just
touchdowns.
let
I
him
said
have that
20,
hot take,
20,
man.
20
That's
points.
that's the hot take that just goes on TikTok.
Although I understand that Tampa's definitely going to win this game, but they're not blowing them out.
I don't think that. I don't think that.
Tampa does not have that firepower, regardless of who they got. They don't got the firepower to blow people out by 30
They don't have the.
or 20.
Green Bay doesn't have the offensive. Green Bay's not going to put up more than 10 points on Tampa Bay.
Yes, they will.
Who are they going to throw to? They're not going to run the ball.
Sammy Watkins.
Aaron Jones.
They're not going to run the ball.
They will throw the ball too, and the corners are more the weak spot for Tampa.
Sean Murphy Bunting, Jamal Dean.
Jamel Dean is trash.
No, he's
Trash.
not.
Dookie.
No.
Dookie.
So you have the Buccaneers being like one of the best teams this year?
Yes.
No.
Basically, this said yes.
Yes.
No. No.
And then they have Carlton.
Who
They
did
didn't
they
give
add
any
besides
sense.
Russell Gage?
Okay, B. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Russell Gage.
Okay. Yeah, Russell Gage is the only guy that's new there.
I'm just going off offense.
What did Russell Gage do in Atlanta as basically the number one guy?
Shaq Mason. They drafted Cade Otton. I'm not even done. They got Logan Ryan.
Shaq Mason's the center, right?
Right guard.
Okay, that's good. He played in Tampa with Tom Brady. You know who else played in Tampa with Tom Brady?
I mean, in New England.
Gronk. Where's he at? Retired. Gone. Lost him.
They have Cameron Brayton, Cade Otton. Cade Otton was the rookie that was the number 1 overall tight end.
Cameron Brate is no Rob Gronkowski.
No, but Cam Otton is at 6'6", 250.
He won't do the numbers that Rob Gronkowski did, and I can almost guarantee that.
50.
6'9", 230. You know who was that? Brock Osweiler. Where is he at?
He is going.
This man is taller than his entire offensive line.
But you want to know the biggest factor in this Tampa Bay team? Is the man under center, which is the greatest player to step on a football field ever, which is why this team will once again be Super Bowl
contenders. Put him against the Saints. The man's scared as fuck.
This man will once again take his team to the promised land. This Bucks team.
I dare you to say the Super Bowl. I dare you to say the Super Bowl. I dare you to say the Super Bowl.
Is the best team in the NFC. And
no, they're not.
They arguably have a really good defense.
I never argue that the Saints are better than them. I will argue this. I will stand on my last breath. I will scream it to the last breath.
Okay.
He is better.
All right, we're gonna run this down real quick. Tom Brady is better than Jameis Winston.
That's fine. That is okay.
I'm not done. Alvin Kamara is not going to be able to play 6 games. So that's without your best offensive player on the entire offense.
Wait. Where did you get this from?
It's not out yet.
Because
you already know
it seems like Deshaun Watson hasn't gotten a suspension yet, so why should Kamara?
Deshaun's going to get a suspension.
But he hasn't, and he's more than likely not going to get a heavy one.
6 weeks.
He's going to get 4 games.
4 games is even important.
Kamara's court date has been pushed back a long time, I think. the NFL likes to follow the innocent until proven guilty. So if that court date keeps getting pushed back, Camaro will play.
And this is my argue. Is that I argue that that Tampa Bay has a better tight end room than y'all do.
Okay. We have Adam Troutman, bro. You can go ahead with that. That's fine.
Mike Evans is better than Michael Thomas.
Fuck no.
Mike Evans has every year he's played football.
Give me a fully healthy Michael Thomas, and I guarantee you he's not better.
Okay, that's fair, but Michael Thomas hasn't been fully healthy in like 2 years.
But when they are both healthy, who is better?
That's not what we're talking about. When Michael Thomas might
they're
never
both healthy now. They're both healthy now. So who's better?
What, for 4 weeks, and then Michael Thomas gets hurt again?
No, that's not gonna happen. I don't know where you're getting this from.
And then you have Chris Godwin, who's the best slot receiver in all of football.
Okay.
Then you have Russell Gage,
I'll
who's
give you that.
now going to be given the chance to
Russell
be third round
Gage.
receiver.
Okay. That's fine. But is Russell Gage going to be better than Chris Olave?
That's not crazy to say. Not with Tampa, not with Tom Brady. That's not an insane take.
Crazy to say, but it is very unlikely.
What's also
Let's go to
crazy.
O-line then. This O-line has been dominated by us every single year. Tristan Wirfs gets bullied by Cam Jordan.
We're not talking about the Saints. Y'all play them 2 times. Y'all can beat them twice, and they still go what? 12 and what? 12.
That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make the point that the Saints are better than Tampa.
That doesn't matter.
So if you're claiming that Tampa's the best team in the NFC, I'm claiming that the Saints are the best team in the NFC.
I am going to say this. New Orleans might have a better regular season record. I will put everything on that Tampa Bay makes it farther in the playoffs because they have that man under center. And consistently,
What happened last year?
Consistently, New Orleans has choked playoff appearances. Consistently.
You want to talk about the one time there wasn't really a choke? What happened there? NFC Championship, no call. Who would have been in the Super Bowl? Drew Brees and the Saints. Against who? Tom Brady. A guy that put up 13 points against the Rams who put up 3.
Against a very good Rams defense. But anyway, we're going to get to this defense
13 points.
You've got 2 good
I'm ready to fight on this defense.
You got 2 good safeties in Antrell Winfield, and you get Logan Ryan from New York, who put up really good stats for New York last year.
Neither of them are better than Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May.
We're not talking about just the Saints. We're talking about how good Tampa's going to do.
I'm still standing my guard on this, though.
Okay, New Orleans could be better than Tampa in the regular season. Tampa's going to make it farther in the playoffs.
Nope.
Y'all don't have the consistently good squad like Tampa does.
How are you going to call them consistently good when last year we went 9-8 with the most players started? We started the most players in the league. We went 9-8.
Okay, bro. Tom Brady's going to speak for himself like he does every year.
Yeah, and throw 3 interceptions per game against the Saints?
Against the Saints, and then win the Super Bowl.
Win the Super Bowl. When did you do that?
Schedule? We go back to the schedule, please. Just have Ryan has Tampa winning, bro. Come on. Can we please move on?
I want to finish this part. When did he do that? When did he win that Super Bowl? Wasn't last year, so as far as that matters, as far as that goes, it don't really matter.
Then why are you bringing up stuff from like 5 years ago about a no call? If stuff from last year
because you're
doesn't matter,
bringing up how we choke in the playoffs. That's bringing it up fucking, what, 3 years ago?
Bro.
You're bringing up our history.
They won the Super Bowl last year. It is 2022. It is.
They won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
No, it is the year 2022. Is it not, Alex Watts?
It's 2022. They won the Super Bowl in the 2020 season.
2021. They won it in.
They won the 2020 season Super Bowl. Or 2 years later in the 2022 season.
They lifted the championship on the date of 2021.
It's not the season though.
It doesn't matter.
Or 2 seasons
they
later.
They won the Super Bowl
2
last
seasons
year.
later. 2 seasons later, the Rams did.
Okay, Rams won it. Rams won it in 2022.
They won it the 2021 season. That's what I'm getting
But
at.
they won the 20. They were champions in 2022.
Okay. What's your point exactly?
Please move on.
The fact that you don't understand that this team is good.
I ain't saying the team's not good. I'm not saying the team's not good. I'm just saying they're not winning the NFC.
All right, V. Theoretically, if they lose to y'all, they could still win the NFC South.
Doesn't mean they're gonna win the NFC.
All right, who's better than them in the NFC? The South, the Saints.
You gonna have to give me more time to think, bro.
Who's better than them in the
Let me
NFC?
see,
The
let me
South, the
see.
Saints. You
Let me
pulled up a
see.
bunch of shit on me.
The Rams.
Okay. Let's say the Rams are better.
I only need one team, really, honestly.
The Rams have Allen Robinson, who was terrible last year for Chicago, and if he is not
'Cause he was
good,
hurt.
then they're going to struggle immensely. He was not hurt. He played all 16
Cooper
games.
Kupp. Cooper Kupp.
If they have one receiver, what's one receiver going to do?
Michael Thomas fucking led the fucking Saints in 2019
Okay, but
as their only receiver, their only target.
He was running 10-yard routes.
Don't fix what's not broken.
Okay,
That's just how that goes.
Let's move on.
10-yard routes, and you still can't keep up with bro? You still can't fix? You still can't fix?
Let's move on
You know,
before
you
we
still
talk about
can't
this
fix
for
your
20
mistake.
years.
Can we please move back to the schedule?
Same, bro. Tampa's not winning the NFC, but they'll win this game against the Packers.
Did all that argument just to agree that they were gonna be back.
They'll beat the Packers, okay? They're not winning the NFC. That's all I gotta say. Let's move on.
No, you
Now,
just don't.
I forgot what record they're at.
No,
1 and 2.
Your
1 and 2.
problem. Your problem is that you can't put your
I
Saints.
thought we were done with this.
No, bro, I'm back. Your problem is that you can't put your Saints fan bias aside to admit that Tom Brady is better than Drew Brees, and that will always irk you that Tom Brady is better than Drew Brees, and you will hate on every
if you give Drew Brees 2 more years, if you give Drew Brees 2 more years, and he's better than Tom Brady.
This is your argument.
Valente, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why are you a Saints fan?
Why am I a Saints fan?
Yes.
Well, the logo's literally everywhere around the city. Their colors, I love gold. Their logo is like literally plastered everywhere around the city. It's the fleur-de-lis is everywhere around Louisville. So when I was literally like trying to get into football, I went after the Saints because that logo is plastered everywhere here.
Okay, I've always wondered that because it's like he lives in like near you like all the indie teams except like.
Okay, there's
God.
no
Oh
NBA
my
team
God,
that.
bro, we wouldn't be friends if he lived in Indianapolis.
I don't live in Indianapolis.
I
might move to Indiana soon.
If you were a fan of the Indianapolis Colts, there was no way we could be friends.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't be.
There's no way,
Why?
bro. I couldn't do it, Alex. I'm sorry.
Good thing I don't have a favorite team. So let's keep going.
Hypothetically, no, before we continue, what would be your favorite team?
He said Cincinnati. Cincinnati. He was talking about this yesterday.
Oh, okay. Anyway, they're 1 and 2, right? They lose to Minnesota and Tampa.
I'll be a Lions fan, man. I'm going to go Lions.
1 and 2. Then they face New England. I think they.
I think they win.
Yeah,
I think they win this.
I think Green Bay could beat New England. Yeah.
Okay. They face the Giants. They're winning that. 3 and 2. They're facing the Jets after that.
I think Jets win that.
Yeah. Okay. 3 and 3.
We have the Jets get 2 upsets.
Face Washington.
I have the Jets winning more than 10 games.
Well, if you think about it, so let's talk about the Bengals really. So they beat a lot of teams that they weren't expected to beat preseason. That at the end of the season, that's not considered an upset. That's just considered you're better than everybody. So I think New York's going to be that Cincinnati Bengals type team.
All right, let's look at this. Let's have Green Bay beat Washington.
Okay, so they're 4 and 3.
That's a net.
Yeah, 4 and 3. They lose to Buffalo.
Lose to Buffalo.
They lose to Detroit.
4 and 5.
They lose to Dallas.
4-6.
Okay, and we're gonna have a debate here. Tennessee has one of the best secondaries in football and overall defenses in football. They lose to Tennessee. They don't have the offense.
Okay. I can debate it.
I agree.
What are they now? 4-7.
4-7.
Damn,
Okay.
I think they beat the Eagles.
They could beat the Eagles. I was
Yep.
thinking about this.
5-7.
5-7. They beat Chicago.
6-7.
Shit,
They
about
lose
break
to
even.
they lose to LA on prime time.
6-8.
They lose to Miami and then go undefeated the rest of the season.
6-9. 8-9.
Didn't we have them
Wow.
losing to the Vikings? Didn't we have them losing to the Vikings?
No, we had them beating Minnesota because we had
No,
Minnesota.
we had them beaten Vikings once.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's honestly how it works.
So
But
8-9 with
8-9.
with Aaron Rodgers refusing to play after next season.
But does he win MVP?
Huh?
Does he win
No,
MVP
no,
again?
no, no. Not hell no, not with this fucking core.
No. Going 8-9.
Who the fuck?
You
Bro.
can win MVP going 8-9.
Bruh.
Not gonna happen.
Deshaun Watson had
Too many
votes, and I
good
think he was like 7 and 9 at the time.
He
Arguably,
might get votes, but he's not gonna win MVP.
arguably, I don't think it's impossible to say a team can go to the playoffs from the NFC at 8-9. Because the NFC's
'cause-
NFC is so close. I don't see it impossible.
Yeah, I mean, if you win your division at 8 and 9, I could see it. I'm not sure about the whole you know,
Because you got to think the NFC doesn't have
making a
a
wild
really
card
close
spot.
division. The NFC doesn't have a close division like the ACC does. So I don't.
AFC, bro, college, ACC.
I said the AFC.
I mean, the NFC's only really close division that you could actually like debate all teams would be the East, and that's not a good thing. You can debate all 4 teams, maybe except the Giants in the East, and that's not necessarily a good thing.
But I don't think 8-9 is too shocking.
No, I mean, a lot of Packers fans realize that they lost a very, very hefty piece.
You have Minnesota win that division. You have Detroit get in from the wild card, and you have maybe the Packers just miss. That's my prediction because I had Detroit go 10-7. You had them go 8-9, so they end up tied with Green Bay.
Yeah, I said 7-10, 9-8 at the highest.
So
anyway, so that's our NFC North. Now we have one more little segment for the NFL, and that is pick a side, where we start with a certain player, and we go up and ask, would you rather have this player over blank? So today we're starting with Melvin Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hear your stats before we start?
Okay.
Yes, Melvin Gordon had 918 yards on 203 carries with 8 touchdowns. I do not know
players too well, and I'm gonna go off names I know.
Okay. Would you rather have? Okay, we'll start simple. Would you rather have Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams as your starter?
Are you waiting for me?
Oh wait, hold up. Say again, V.
Would you rather have Melvin Gordon or Javonte Williams as your starter?
I don't know, bro, because I saw a lot from Javonte last year that shows he could be a good guy, but he was also splitting carries with Melvin Gordon, and Melvin Gordon actually got less carries than him and put up better statistics. So
actually, they had the exact same number of carries.
Oh, but I do remember
Melvin
Javonte
Gordon just put up 15 more yards.
So arguably, I think it's not impossible.
Who's younger?
Javonte.
Javonte's younger.
I'm going Javonte.
And Javonte's a receiving back as well. He can rush and receive.
Melvin can do.
I'm going Javonte.
Melvin can do that too, but I'm going with Javonte.
And Javonte's younger. I think he's got the edge over him for that reason, mostly that reason.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do 3 more. Javonte Williams is our king of the hill right now. So Javonte Williams or Josh Jacobs.
Javonte Williams.
Isn't Josh Jacobs?
Less
Wait,
carries,
I-
more yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
I'm
going
going Javonte.
I'm going Javonte. Yeah.
Okay. Javonte Williams or Leonard Fournette.
Is it playoff Leonard Fournette or just regular season?
Overall, Leonard Fournette.
Javonte, bro.
Overall, Leonard Fournette.
Overall, Leonard
Javonte.
Fournette. I'm going Leonard Fournette because he's just so good playoffs. It's not even,
Okay.
bro. He's so good in the playoffs. It's crazy.
And Javonte has been in the playoffs. Shit, I can agree with that. Leonard Fournette or Antonio Gibson.
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette or Najee Harris.
Ooh, Leonard Fournette.
Ooh,
This
what?
boy-
Because
this boy's
Najee.
sucking Leonard Fournette.
No, because
Fuck him.
Najee got absolutely shut out in the game against Kansas City in the playoffs last year.
Leonard Fournette or Damian Harris. It's probably an easy one, but
I feel like that was closer than the Antonio Gibson one.
really?
Yeah. I actually like Damian Harris a lot. It's crazy he doesn't get more Harrys. Leonard Fournette, but I actually like Damian a lot.
Okay, bonus round. Who would you rather have as your running back, Lamar Jackson or Trey Lance?
Lamar.
Lamar. Bro, don't do
Lamar?
that, bro. People are the Lamar
Yeah.
stands are gonna hate on us.
I know. It's okay.
Okay.
He's a
All right,
quarterback,
that's
not
it.
a running back.
That's it for the NFL segment. Now we're going to take it to Alex for Summer League.
I'm just gonna overview players that I've recently watched. I haven't really looked too much into stats. These are just players that I was looking at into summer league, hoping to see some things, and I think I saw some things from a couple of these players, just game wise and how they looked and how comfortable they looked. First, I'm gonna go over Ochai Abaji, and y'all can, if y'all seen any of these players, y'all can jump in. But Ochai Abaji at Kansas, he wasn't really an on-ball guy. He was always off-ball. He was coming around screens, and there was all these actions because he was so athletic. So he was able to be the guy at Kansas, and I think the system in Kansas that he was in benefited him of the play style he's gonna have to play at Cleveland, because how he played at Kansas is exactly how he played in the summer league and how he was predicted to be used in Cleveland. And I think he's just a great extension piece to that offense that's already so great and young with all the bigs. And I think he's just going to fit right in with the backcourt being either the three or coming off the bench even. He looked really good. He's going to be one of the best shooters in the class, in my opinion. He's going to be NBA ready. He already looks NBA ready. He has one of the best NBA bodies already, I would say, out of the rookies. He looked very fluid and comfortable. He didn't look very overwhelmed, and it just seems like his play style is going to translate very well. So far, what I've seen.
Would you say that he's one of the only rookies that really like didn't try and like put themselves out there? Would you say he was more of like the team guy?
I feel like that's more of his personality and how like Kansas is, because like you see like Christian Braun's not like that either. Like they're just like they're soft spoken. Like they're gonna talk their shit on the court, but like out in like media, they ain't gonna be out there. And I feel like there's a lot of people like that, because like I was talking to you about this earlier, like Benedict Mather and LeBron, like what he said to
Yeah.
about LeBron. Everyone like hit Chet saying he's the best player in the league already. Like, I think it's good to have confidence like that, but I don't see like cockiness out of Ochai, if that's what you're
Yeah.
asking.
No.
I
I'm
don't
kind
think
of
he's
saying
the
like
only one.
a lot of the players in their like first couple of games in summer league, they really tried to chomp at the bit, and they tried to like start really
Force
fast and
the issue.
show that they were like
I
show they
think
were
that's just
worthy
people
of their
being
pick.
young. I feel like a great example was Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray had a really good. I think it was a 24-point performance in his first game, did very good. He plays how he did in college. He wanted to get downhill. He got downhill, and that's who I'm talking about next. Keegan Murray. He surprised many in the summer league. People thought it was not really a stretch that Sacramento picked him at 4, but they were upset because Ivy was on the board, and I understand that, but I think he was a better fit than Ivy, and you couldn't have taken a fourth guard. 4 guards in 4 years in the lottery. So I do think Keegan Murray was the right pick, and I not even about the summer league. I do think the Kings are going to make the play-in. I think they're going to be a top 10 team in the West. I think it's debatable. Like maybe they could miss it because there is a lot of good teams in there, like the Pelicans and Minnesota towards the bottom, um, in the West that will be in the play-in. There'll be teams that are better, like the Clippers. I imagine with John, I feel like that team's going to be super fun to watch as well. But I do
Yeah.
think Keegan Murray adds a lot to the table for Sacramento, seeing how well he played, being able to stretch the floor, and what the fuck is Ryan doing? and just he looked very good. People didn't really think he was gonna be 20-point scorer. He played better than one of the top 3 picks in my opinion, Jabari Smith, and that was my favorite rookie coming into the draft. But
Oh
I
yeah, from
think
Auburn.
I think right now Keegan Murray looked to be like a top 3 rookie right now at the moment in the summer league.
Did you rank your top 10 rookies from the summer league? If I put you on the spot.
I could probably do top 5, maybe not top 10.
All right, top 5, go.
From what I think Blake Wesley's got to be in there. Consistently really good. If we're doing, I think we can also put. This is not in order. You got to put Pablo Banchero in there. Looked like the most NBA ready player of everyone there. Just dominated. It's not gonna be the role he. Well, I mean, it's gonna be the role he has, but it's gonna be more limited in Orlando. Uh, got put Chet in there. Chet looked really good, even though he is that's like weight wise smaller than everyone. Uh, I want to put Kenneth Lofton in there. He was looking really good, even though he went undrafted. There's a lot of people you can put in there. There's a couple names I'm forgetting too. I think Jaden Hardy looked really good. That's who I'm talking about next. Jaden Hardy looks like he could be one of the steals of the draft, even though he was projected to go in the lottery before the season started. But he went off to a slow start in G League Ignite. He really struggled at the beginning, and then he started picking it up towards the end of the year. And in summer league, he just picked up where he left off, and towards the end of G League Ignite. I think the last game he had was 20-something points for the Mavs, and I feel like if he's given the opportunity with the Mavericks, I feel like he could replace Jalen Brunson, the scoring hole he fills. Even though they did pick up a couple of guards in free agency and Gary Payton Jr., but he looked really good. I feel like in the right situation, Jaden Hardy could potentially be one of the biggest steals of the draft. Low-key, maybe. I wouldn't say dark horse. I think there's a couple other people you could put in dark horse for Rookie of the Year. That won't be my hot take for the NBA. Next, I'm gonna talk about Blake Wesley for the Spurs. He looks like one of the bright spots on the Spurs team after trading DeJounte Murray in the summer league. He's consistently dropping 20 plus. His handle looks so smooth and just he's so shifty with the ball and he's able to do it off he's an on ball scorer and an off ball scorer, and I think that's very important for what San Antonio is going to need. If I could be wrong, but I think Lonnie Walker's not going to be back or this year or next year, so they do have guard spots they need to fill. Even though they got Joshua Primo, you got the other guard they had. I'm blanking on names. It's like Malachi Branham. They have, and you got a lot of young guys on this team, and I feel like he fits right in there. And I feel like he has the potential to be a number 1 option for them. Before the draft, I didn't really think that, but watching him play in summer league, it's been really impressive. As I didn't really watch too much of him at Notre Dame, but he's a really lengthy guard, so defensively, I think it's just going to come a little bit more naturally to him eventually. I didn't really watch too much of his defensive highlights, but he definitely has the potential to be really good at guarding 1 through 3 because of his length. And maybe some 4s depending on teams he plays. He's just gonna. I think the only thing is that it's the same thing with Chet. He's a little small, like the weight wise.
Yeah, that boy's legs are tiny.
But I feel like with the NBA, how the NBA plays today, it's not like the '90s where you need to be strong to go to the paint. We see people like Ja Morant. You see,
Yeah, John Morant.
Ja Morant has a small frame, and I feel like people forget that when they talk about people like Chet and like smaller guards. Like it's not as important as it used to be. It is still important for people to get in the weight room, but I really do think Blake Wesley is this is my dark horse to win Rookie of the Year. I feel like he's in the right situation. The only person that's really going to take away shots from him is Keon Johnson. He's gonna have to take a step for them to be even remotely good. But I think the Spurs should be in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes next year, which I'm super excited about. The best NBA prospect of all time. It's been said he's better than LeBron. He's already predicted to be an MVP, 7'3", and can do anything. But that's not about summer league, so we ain't gonna get into that. And the last one I'm gonna talk about for Valente, someone that I think
Yeah.
is really impressive, Benedict Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers.
Hmm.
Possibly the best guard in the draft. I think when we went into the when I was watching the draft, I thought he was better than Jaden Ivey. I legitimately thought he was better than Jaden Ivey because legitimately when I watched Jaden Ivey play at Purdue, it was it's frustrating because he would get upset when he wasn't chosen to take the last shot. And you could tell in moments like that he didn't care. And then you just watch him play. He struggled against St. Peter's. Like when you're supposed to be the next like Ja Morant or like Russell Westbrook of that class, you shouldn't be phased by a team like St. Peter's. Like you're you're more athletic. You're the most athletic person on the court, and you're struggling to use that to your advantage. And then it's just his lack of. I don't know if he's gonna. I think he's gonna fit in well at Detroit, like everyone says, but I don't think it's gonna be as well as everyone thinks it's gonna be. I think that might be one of the what word am I looking for? Hot takes. I don't think that backcourt is gonna be as good as everyone thinks it is. Just because of what I've heard about Jaden Ivey. If he's not the number one option, he's upset and he's gonna be moody and bitchy about it. And I don't know how I feel about that. But when I watched Benedict Mathurin at Arizona, he is a two-way beast, and you saw it in summer league, in my
Yep.
opinion. In his jabs, he was just doing jab step work in the clips I was watching.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple bad misses, but he didn't he looked sped up because he was excited, not because he was like nervous or anything. And I like his confidence. I think some people like what he said with about LeBron. LeBron's gonna have to show him he's the best player, but I think I see that as confidence. I don't see that as egotistical or cocky or anything like that.
It'd be different if he went out and said, "Oh,
I'm
well, at
sure
the end of this, I'm
no.
gonna be better than LeBron." Like it's different than that, you know?
LeBron's the GOAT. There's no debate about that. I'm sorry, there isn't. But
Right. It would be much
I
different if he
do
would have
think
said, "At the end of all this, I will be better than LeBron." You know, it'd be a whole another story if he said that he is better than LeBron, but he's got to show LeBron that he's better, and that's just like a confidence thing. I mean, it could
yeah.
very easily be mistaken for arrogance. I mean, you ain't seen really nothing of the guy in his first media interview. You hear that, you know, you know what I mean?
I do think he's in the right situation in Indiana. He wanted to go to Indiana. He texted Tyrese Halliburton before the draft. He wanted to go there, so there should be a really good relationship there with them.
Yeah,
I I do think I think he's going to be the best player in Indiana next year. I think he'll be better than Tyrese. Maybe not next year, but in like 2 years at least. I think he will be better than Tyrese Halliburton. I think Tyrese Halliburton's a little overhyped. For like
I
how
do got a
everyone see,
question.
from what I hear from Tyrese Halliburton, like when people talk about Tyrese Halliburton, they say that he's like a future all-star. I don't see that, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think it's good that he went to Indiana from Sacramento because I don't think he would have thrived there. But it's hard to say. But I think another dark horse for the rookie of the year is Benedict Mathurin. I think he is possibly one of the best guards in this draft, just because of his two-way ability. He's so athletic, and he has that score first mentality, but he's not selfish. He's team first type of guy. So I
I
really do like him.
last year I said the same thing about Chris Duarte. I mean, Chris Duarte, it was like the guy who could come in the clutch for you. Like he was our clutch guy last year. I think he had like
The
8
only
buzzer
thing with
beaters or
Chris
something like
Duarte
that.
with me, he's like 25. He's gonna be like 25 when he
Yeah,
going into his sophomore year.
yeah. He was
I don't.
24 when he got drafted. That was the issue.
I think that's still the issue. I don't. When you're trying to build youth into a team like this, I don't think you should be taking people that are that age. Which is
Yeah.
why I don't. I'm confused.
That's the question.
I don't know what Indiana's direction is right now. If we're being
Yeah, I
honest,
mean,
because the
I
Aiden,
think,
I really wanted them to get Aiden, but Phoenix matched the deal. But
yeah,
I,
man, I'm sad about that.
I don't know what they're going
Oh,
for because I know they're trying to dump off Miles Turner still.
yeah, I
But
think they're gonna imagine a Miles Turner Rudy Gobert swap, but I mean, Rudy Gobert
that
went
can't
to.
happen anymore because Rudy
I
Gobert was
know.
just good. But I don't.
Yeah, I know, but imagine that. Imagine if
I'm
that
trying to
happened,
think
bro.
of
A
Miles
swap.
Turner's best trade destination where he would thrive best. I would say Brooklyn, but I don't think anything's gonna happen in Brooklyn until KD's gone, or Kyrie. I don't think the Pacers could be an option for KD to go to.
That
They don't have
I
enough
think that
people's
when the
assets.
trade happens, I think when the trade happens, it'll be a 3 or 4 team trade. Honestly.
Yeah, but that trade really like that whole situation needs to get over now so the free agency can pick back up because there hasn't been really anyone signed lately, and
Yeah.
been because everyone's waiting on the situation in Brooklyn. Until Toronto's willing to trade Scotty Barnes, I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think if KD is traded, it's gonna be to Toronto or what was I hearing? New Orleans, but I don't think New Orleans is going to be willing to blow up their whole team and give up Brandon Ingram just to
Or
try to.
Zion.
I don't. I don't think you could give up Zion. I don't think you could play Brandon Ingram and KD on the same team. They're too similar, in my opinion. They both need the ball in their hand. I feel like KD and Zion would work better because I feel like Zion doesn't need the ball in his hand to be great.
I do got a question
hmm
before we wrap this up. What is your opinion on Shaden Sharp and the Blazers winning
I think
the
Shaden
Summer
Sharp.
League?
Shaden Sharp, my favorite prospect in the class.
Do you think?
I
Do you think? I don't know what the extent of the injury is, but
Yeah,
the
I did not
labral
know he had
tear.
an injury.
He had a small labral tear in his left shoulder. Um,
I didn't know he was injured. I
despite
was
that,
wondering why he was in the league.
yeah, he was
But I
only in the
know
first
Dame is
game,
excited for him to be on the team.
and the Blazers still won the Summer League. So, and guess what? That is the
They
only
they
championship
got a
Damian
lot of good
Lillard will
young
ever
guys.
win.
They got
That's the
lot
only.
of good young guys. I think they need to move on from Dame, even though Dame wants to stay loyal. I don't.
That's the issue with
They can
Dame.
get a
If you
lot of assets for Dame. I just don't know where you could throw him. He can't go to. I don't think you can get him to go to KD for him. You would have to throw in a. Maybe you'd probably have to throw in Shaden Sharp, Damian Lillard.
would you say
But
that
I don't
this
think they would
that
want Shaden Sharp
this
because you already got a bunch of young guards in Brooklyn. You got not a bunch, but you got Cam Thomas, which Cam Thomas is disgusting. I think once KD and Kyrie leave, he's the guy there, like the
I
guy at the guards.
I got another question. Do you think that this potential Kevin Durant trade could be the best trade in NBA history at the end
I
of it?
think it'll be the worst trade of NBA history. You're trading for a 34-year old that has 4 years left on his contract, that is injury prone, has not played a full season in God knows how long, for an overhaul. So wherever he gets traded to is still going to be ass. You got to think about they were looking for 2 All-Stars. So that limits the teams to Phoenix, Toronto, Miami, but Miami doesn't. Tyler Hero can't be the centerpiece of any trade. So I mean, for any trade for KD or Kyrie.
Okay.
So you gotta take out Miami, New Orleans. Can't not Philly. Can't do Denver.
You probably could do Denver.
Golden State, but Golden State, he's not going to Golden State.
But they don't want him back.
You're telling me you're gonna trade Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, and 3 first-round picks just to get KD? I think, and Andrew Wiggins. That's a little crazy.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's pretty dumb.
You're basically, you have no depth anymore. So wherever he goes, there's no depth. So I do think it's gonna be the worst trade in NBA history. It's gonna be bad for both teams.
Yep, and it's gonna be seriously bad for any team that ever considers going for him.
Before we do wrap this up, though, I want to hear from each of you who y'all think is gonna be Rookie of the Year, and I want Ryan to give his dark horse. And I want to give I want to hear. I don't think Ryan would have a dark horse, but I do. I wonder who Vente has as a dark horse.
Dark horse. My dark horse for Rookie of the Year, man. Well, to me, I don't think Benedict Matherin's a dark horse. I think he could honestly be a clear candidate. He's not one of the guys that you wouldn't think would win it. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to say.
When you look at dark horse, I feel like you have to look at situation.
Okay, I'm gonna say dark horse. Give me. Dark horse. EJ Liddell.
Where's EJ Liddell's? Where's EJ Liddell at right now? I forgot.
Pelicans.
He went in the second round. That's all I remember.
Yeah, he's a forward for the Pelicans, who I think they'll probably move him to guard.
The only thing with that is playing time. There's a lot of forwards there.
True.
You got Zion, and then you got, what's his name, Herbert Jones. It's gonna be hard to find playing time there.
I think another good one could definitely be Jaden Hardy.
Again, it's just playing time at the guard spot, but
if you're talking dark horses, you can't really go with starters. I mean, Christian Braun.
I see him as I feel like Tari Eason's a better pick than Christian. I mean, Christian's a good pick. I think
you're waiting for me to say Ochai
Agbaji's not winning it. No, there's no way. No, he's not gonna have the He's not gonna have the production. I could see him averaging 9.
If we're going dark horses, it's really hard to predict a dark horse.
What?
It's really hard to predict a dark horse in the NBA, though.
I feel like based on the summer league, Blake Wesley's a good dark horse.
He's undrafted, right?
No, he went in the first round to the Spurs. He was their first pick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
No. Blake Wesley. Okay, here he is. Yeah, he's the late first round.
Then he was just, yeah.
Or Wendell. Wendell Moore.
Where is he? I think he's in
Minnesota.
You said Minnesota?
He's a guard, 6'5" guard.
No, he went to Duke. You said he's in Minnesota?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I've always liked Wendell Moore. I mean, I hate Duke. There's 2 teams I hate in life: Duke and Kentucky.
I do think the clear guy to win Rookie of the Year is Pablo Banchero.
Pablo Banchero, yeah, exactly.
But I do think there's players like Blake Wesley to win it. Benedict Matherin can be in there. I'm trying to think of a third. Who are the other bigs that
Jabari.
just? I think EJ Liddell, Jabari. You're talking about Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
I feel like Chet's more likely to win it, just because of. I mean, it's unfair for Jabari. You know, they probably had the best summer league team going in there, but his role is gonna be so much easier for him in the NBA because he's more of a catch and shoot guy, and he was trying to. You could tell he was trying to force the issue too much, and you could tell he was confident going into summer league. But when you're supposed to be the first pick and then you just randomly get swapped to be the third pick, out of nowhere,
Yeah.
it's gonna hurt your confidence a little bit. But I don't. I don't. I don't think. I think the way the draft went, I think the top three is the correct order of the three. And seeing how summer league went,
Cool.
I feel like people won't like this, but I think Keegan Murray might finish number 2 on the rookie of the year.
Honestly, back when I was watching Chet Holmgren like 2 years ago, I think it was.
Mm.
I honestly didn't believe that he could be an NBA guy because he's fucking big and he's 190 pounds.
I mean, that's just.
Like I'm almost certain that he might get bullied by these other bigs.
We saw it a little bit, but he was still able to. You gotta think about this. He's always been. He's always had a small frame, so he's used to it. He's used to getting bullied with his frame. So I think maybe it won't be right away. I think he'll get bullied early in the season, but I think around the All-Star break is where he'll like find his footing defensively. And you gotta think he will put on some weight, being it that basketball is his only job now. Not saying it was basically before, but he's gonna have
Yeah,
access to the best trainers
you
in
got
the
a lot of
world.
money. You got a lot of money
Yeah.
invested into you.
And he's committed to being the best. So I don't think it's going to be a problem there in OKC because I think OKC has a great developmental system. Seeing all their young guys at like Lou Dort, I think Oklahoma City is going to be a fun team to watch just because of the young core they got down there.
Yeah.
I think the NBA is going to be very exciting this year. But my picks, definitely Pablo Banchero for Rookie of the Year, dark horse Blake Wesley. That's what I'm going to go.
All right, guys. So I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. So this has been Cass. That's Alex. That's ISO for subs, aka Valente. And if you guys have any recommendations for something we need to talk about, whether that be wrestling, UFC, combat sport, anything related, hell, we'll talk.
Anything at all.
Hell, we'll talk about.
Politics.
Hell, we'll talk. Hell, we'll talk about golf. Anyway,
This motherfucker, no.
I
The
really
funny
hope
shit was
sports
before
doesn't
we
get
started
down
this shit,
bad.
he said, I've been watching the Masters. I want to talk about golf.
I really hope sports doesn't get down bad enough to the point where we have to talk about golf.
I'll
shit.
talk about golf, but I just think it's funny. Like right before we started, he was like, I really want to start talking about
I've
golf.
been getting into the Masters recently.
Bro, it's actually fun if you watch it, bro.
It's
It's
not
just
fun
too
to
slow.
watch.
It's too slow. That's why I can't watch baseball.
Anyway, let's go and wrap this up. It's 6:30 in the morning.
5:20.
5:30 for them.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoy. This has been it. Bye, guys.